Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm here to help you figure out the major mistakes you make while script writing and how you can avoid them.
The most common mistake that new scriptwriters do is that they start writing scenes without realizing fully and without articulating, without even maybe thinking about it. What is this story ultimately going to tell people? What am I trying to say? What will the audience be left with once they see a film made on this script? Why am I writing? So, to handle this, ask yourself, why am I writing it? What do I want to communicate? Another common mistake is having things or objects or scenes which do not connect with everything else. Ask yourself about every element that you introduce in the film. Why am I including this? If I remove this, will it impact my main story goal? If it does not, if the answer is it does not add, remove it, cut it, make it short. Another common mistake is I want to perfect this scene before moving on to the next scene. Otherwise, I'll have to rewrite it. Rewriting is a norm. Whatever you write, you will come back and want to improve it. So, while writing, keep on writing, keep on expressing. This is all reference, it is in existence. You'll come back, you'll have time to better it, make it better. Common mistake is not finishing. Now, many friends start multiple projects simultaneously, and then all of them keep hanging in the middle. So, have to have a discipline and the commitment to finish what I once began before moving on to the next project. Another common mistake that usually occurs is writing plot points without meaning. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. There has to be a clearly identifiable shift of movement and event for each act. Ask yourself, how does this story reflect or challenge something about the human condition? That's what is the context that has to be identified. The plot points have to have a certain meaning and an impact on the audience that they get hooked and move on. Another common mistake that occurs is that writers forget visual storytelling and focus too much on dialogues. The ground rule of cinema is show, don't tell. Dialogues are required only when it cannot be shown. So keep your dialogue crisp, less. The entire script, to my mind, should not have more than 20% words devoted to the dialogues. Another common mistake that new scriptwriters do is while writing or developing the plot, they miss out on the characters. So the characters remain the same. So be very cautious about each character, including the antagonist and protagonist, as to how they emotionally or morally change over time, what triggers that change, and what impact that change. Another common mistake while writing is abrupt or random shift in tone or mood. So be cautious that everything that you're writing is consistent with your story goals and the genre you have selected. Of course, a horror film may have a comic scene, but it has to be consistent and lead towards the story goal. Common mistake is ignoring the industry standards, the format. It has developed over a period of time and it has value. Looking at the format, every person who's involved in filmmaking knows what exactly am I supposed to do? What is my role? If your script is not in a standard format, nobody is going to look at it. Another common mistake that new scriptwriters do is they write for themselves. I want to express my ideas. No, you are writing for the audience. Be aware while writing every word as to how this word will impact the audience. Common mistake that occurs is having repetitive scenes or many scenes conveying the same thing. So often the scriptwriters say, no, this is very important. So I want to prove this or arrive at here through multiple channels. Trust your audience. They understand the line. Any scene has to either establish a character, give some new information about the character, or has to forward the plot. If your scene is not doing any of this, cut it. Another common mistake is not having a stack. something has to be at stake. And the best way to find this is ask yourself, what will the audience be looking at? What will be the impact on them emotionally, physically, socially? If the protagonist fails, that is where the audience is going to connect with your story. Another common mistake that new scriptwriters do is not knowing where it is going to end. So it meanders, wanders, goes in any direction. Your resolution must be very clear. That will depend on what is the protagonist want. Otherwise, your story is going to fizzle out somewhere. Know your ending. It may be the protagonist want may be met, not met, or something happens, but know your ending. It is very clear that once the objective is clear, we know what is the pathway, what is the journey towards. One mistake that new scriptwriters do is having too many characters. Now, if there are too many characters, it is going to be difficult within the space of the film to give them each a meaningful, purposeful journey. So they will become static. Those characters who do not contribute to the main plot are undesirable. Remove them. Don't keep them there just for the sake of keeping them or having characters. A common mistake that new scriptwriters do is having an underdeveloped antagonist. Now if the Ravan is not big enough, the Ram's victory does not mean anything. So the antagonist also has to have a want. He will take actions to fulfill that want. So develop him to the extent, make him evil, even more evil, whatever. The common mistake that new scriptwriters usually do is that they write very formal language or unrealistic language or literary language. To avoid this, make sure that your dialogues are in day-to-day language. So for that, listen to people, how they talk. Sharpen it for impact and rhythm, but it has to be natural sounding dialogues. Another common mistake is having scenes which are flat. Every scene has to have a beginning, middle, and end. That is a setup, a conflict, and a resolution. Now, the stronger the conflict is identifiable, the scene is going to come out well and it's going to contribute better to the film. So ask for every scene, every moment, ask, what does each of the characters want in this moment? Another common mistake that new scriptwriters do, they do not build enough conflict in the story. If there is no conflict, the audience is not going to like it. Protagonist has to cross barriers, has to face challenges before he can emerge victorious.
So, hope you understood what causes quality decrement in any script. Tell me what you found relatable in the comment section. You can also give us your thoughts of what you want us to make next. Do you like the video? Share it with your friends and subscribe my channel for more updates.